this place,
touching every hidden wound,
covering me with grace.
I feel the presence of God,
Closer than my pain,
what I could not
heal alone,
Jesus,
heals today.
my heart is breathing,
My soul is rising
peace is flowing,
like a river from above,
I feel the presence of God.
and I know I am loved.
Hello and good evening, everyone. And guess what? It's Tuesday, and it's time for First and Foremost. You know, the show that's all about your First Lady. Well, the format for First and Foremost is simply this. You and I have a unique opportunity to have candid conversations with First Ladies from churches around the United States. We get to hear it straight from the First Lady. First Lady, what really happens when the hat comes off. And speaking of hats, each of our First Ladies are asked to bring a hat. That hat is donated, auctioned off during the course of our show. Opening bid is $50. If you're interested, please give us a call at 313-759-1568 or type it into your information on Facebook, and one of our hostesses will get back with you as soon as possible. And speaking of hats, our First Lady guest brought in this beautiful fascinator. And let me tell you guys something. If somebody doesn't get this, I'm going to get it. Don't get it. I'm going to get this. So if you're interested, please give us a call at 313-759-1568. And remember, you don't have to be a hat wearer. You could just be an admirer. And you have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to take a piece of her story home. You don't know who her story is right now, but you'll get a chance to take a piece of her story home. So again, give us a call. And if you have questions for our First Lady, please use that telephone number as well, and one of our First and Foremost hosts will be happy to assist you. You know, we're still in celebration of our 4th season, and we are, this is our 3rd show, and we are doing, it's hotter and hotter, and I just wanted to thank all of you for wanting the show to be back, because guess what? I want the show to be back, and I thank you guys so much for tuning in. I want to thank all of the pastors who touch me and say, First Lady, we're watching the show. I continue to wonder why they're watching the show, but guess what? I'm just glad that you're watching the show. Have your wives to come on the show and let them know if they've got a story, guess what? We've got a platform. So I want to thank my New Jerusalem Temple Church family, my mother's board, and my number one fan, Lady Johnny Taylor from New Jerusalem. She's my number one fan. I love you, Mom. And I'd like to pray blessings to my other mom as she gets ready to travel out of town. So I pray Godspeed to you and your family. And I thank each and every one of you for tuning in, to all of my First Lady guests who continue to tune into the show. Thank you guys so very much. I want to thank First Lady Deirdre Johnson, who was in the first chair on last Tuesday. She was absolutely amazing. She is such a dynamic woman all around in her job and serving at her church. She is truly doing great things in her church. And I know when she sat here, I asked her to give me an acronym so that when we received our money, cash money or our check, we would be mindful to spend it wisely. And before she could get home, she had already texted me with an acronym, and that acronym is BAGS, BAGS. So we're already thinking money bags, and it says be always a good steward. And I think that is absolutely wonderful, because I think I was convicted, and I'm sure a lot of you were. As a matter of fact, my producer said he was convicted, but I think I can think of bags when I have money, and I will always try to be a good steward. So thank you so much, Lady Johnson, for gracing the first chair. We will, you know what, I don't want to reveal my first guest yet, but we have so many talented First Ladies. I'm just hoping that eventually we will get a conference together that will include her and some of the other wonderful ladies who are great educators and got great backgrounds that could truly be a help to women in general. So I look forward to that. So I'll just get off of that kick right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you, in the first chair tonight, the greater woman behind the great man that is Don Robinson of the Greater Missionary Baptist Church. Yeah. In the first chair, my first guest, First Lady Jennella Robinson.
Hello. Hello. Hi. Thank you.
You're welcome. Excuse me, everyone. I want to pick up my card here. Jason, is that okay?
That's perfect.
All right, thank you. Lady Jennella Robinson, I am so glad to have you here. I know that you're not feeling well, and she's been trying to avoid me for a long, long time. and she's sick, and you know we're all sick with allergies and craziness. So first of all, I just appreciate you coming and fighting through
No
and
worries.
being here. And even if she has to take a moment to get her tissue, you guys please excuse us. But I just want her here however she can be here.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. So, lady, I want to get right into our questions. This is a little game that I like to play with our first ladies.
Okay.
And so, please indulge me for just
Okay.
a moment. And this is called Tell the Truth, First Lady.
Okay.
Now, I don't have my assistant here today, but I am hoping, I love this is audience participation as well. So I would love for you guys to have an opportunity to agree, disagree, or say, yes, that's me, not me, it is me. Tell the truth, First Lady. Have you ever smiled through a service when you were completely exhausted?
Absolutely.
Tell the truth, First Lady. Have you ever greeted someone with a great big hug and you couldn't even remember their name?
For sure. Hey, honey.
Those are the names. Tell the truth, First Lady. Have you ever worn uncomfortable shoes just because they matched your outfit?
Yes, all the time. I like some heels.
You like some
I like
heels.
some heels.
And if they don't
Yes.
start out hurting, they usually just end up hurting.
They
right?
do. And I just sit down.
That's a cute. That's a perfect cute. Tell the truth, First Lady. Have you gone to church carrying a burden that no one knew about?
Absolutely, for sure.
And I think we as women do that
Mhm.
anyway.
Mhm.
It's just natural. Tell the truth, First Lady. Have you ever struggled to balance your family, your work, ministry, and yourself?
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
hmm
Tell the truth, First Lady. Have you ever questioned whether you were doing enough?
Enough? Yes. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing too much, and then I also question, is it enough? So, yeah, both. Yes, on both sides.
Both on sides, for
Mhm.
sure. Tell the truth, First Lady. Have you ever wanted someone to just ask how you were doing?
Yes.
That's just simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you guys, I want to get some feedback because sometimes you just want that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want that as woman and not just as First Lady, but remember, because she is First Lady and woman as well.
Yeah.
Tell the truth, First Lady. Have you ever seen God work through your yes, even when ministry was difficult?
Yes.
And
All the
that's
time.
testimony.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
testimony for sure.
hmm
Tell the truth, First Lady. Have you ever had to forgive while you were still hurting?
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
Yes, absolutely. Because I know that if I take the time to forgive, then God can heal me through the process. I think the forgiveness, when you give forgiveness to someone else while you're still hurting and while you're still healing, then God can work on you in that healing. Because if you hold on to it, then bitterness builds up, resentment builds up, and that doesn't help you. So you have to release the hurt, the frustration, the anger through the forgiveness and giving it to God, and then He can help heal you through that.
Amen.
Right.
Amen. Amen. Tell the truth, First Lady. Who apologizes first, you or Pastor?
Me. And we both stubborn, but it's me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. I'm gonna put a pin in that one for right now. Tell the truth, First Lady. Who takes longer to get ready on Sunday morning?
Actually, him.
Really?
Only because he gets up later than me. So he takes longer because I'm ready by then. I might have been up for about 2 hours.
2 hours. Wow.
Absolutely. I get up early in the
Do
you
you go to sleep early?
I
Do you
do.
go to bed early?
I do.
Okay.
I believe in getting my rest.
Okay.
Yes,
Well, I love that.
I do.
Do you go to sleep when you in the bed?
I do.
Do you take
Most
a
times.
sleep aid?
No.
You drink tea or anything like
No.
that?
Tea would probably have me up. So I like to go to sleep, get me some rest, and then I'm up. I try to be up about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's my best time.
That's great. if you
I like
do.
it.
I think First Lady Burdine Hurst is up. She got a private parking spot at the facility that she works out at 5:30 in the morning. So some people are just that way.
I'm up. I'm not going nowhere, but I'm up.
I'm a morning person, but I'm thinking around 8 o'clock.
Oh, no.
8:30. It's getting worse now that I'm not working. Tell the truth, First Lady. Has your husband ever used one of your conversations in a sermon illustration without discussing it with you?
Yes.
Yes.
I told him, stop talking about me up there.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, this is funny because this is a good segue to some other questions that we're going to be asking First Lady. How do you talk to your husband about that? Afterwards, do you just slap him upside the head and say, honey, don't do that? I mean, how does that conversation go?
Well, I like to laugh and smile and joke a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I know truly what I said to him was, now who told you to get up there and start talking about what I said? But it's okay. It's fine. And then I just move on and laugh from it. But I'm fine with it. But he asked, I know it's all fair game.
Yes. They got to remember that. They got to remember. So tell the truth. What's something that people expect from the First Lady that you just have never understood?
To be perfect. To be perfect. To be all things at all times to everybody. In all the different personalities, all the different wants and desires. So sometimes people expect First Ladies to be perfect and be even more perfect sometimes than the pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's hard. You just brought that up because that's what I was going to say. They expect you to be even more so than the pastor. I don't understand that, but we're going to keep that moving. Lady Jennella Robinson, tell me your love story.
So let's see, my love story. So let's see, me and my husband, we met, back in 1990.
I can't believe that.
In 1990, we met. We were working together at a restaurant called Po Folks.
I remember Po Folks.
So most church people can remember Po
Yes.
Folks because they had they had some good fried chicken, and it was all you could eat: fried chicken, catfish, and country fried steak, biscuits, and all those things.
That's true.
And that was one of my first jobs. I worked, as a young person in different capacities, but I worked there as a waitress and he worked there as a cook. And we met there and got to know each other and dated a little. And then I went off to college and was away living in Washington, D.C. for many years. And then we stayed, connected. We really did. He spent time coming to Washington, driving there and visiting with me. And then many years later, we got engaged. And after I graduated from college in 1997, we married.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So we've been married 29 years this year.
29 years. Can you
Yes.
believe that? You look like you just half of that.
Thank
You
you.
look like you just half of that. That is absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
So I'm not surmising anything, but it sounds like to have a long-lasting relationship, you've got to have this friendship first.
Absolutely.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm. I think so. As years progress, you grow and you learn, right? And people develop, and some people change.
Yes.
It's just natural, right? As you grow older, wiser, more knowledgeable, more experienced. And I think the key and the goal is always to grow together. Right?
Yeah.
So we've been able to grow together by the grace of God. He's been in the midst of our relationship all these years, and he's kept us and has made us stronger, and I'm very thankful for that. We have a really good relationship. I love him a lot. I appreciate him hugely, and we have two beautiful children.
If you were here, you could get all of that personal. You could have heard that. We're missing you in the studio today.
Yeah.
That is so sweet. That is so sweet.
Yeah.
And you have two beautiful
We have two children. Yep, our son Don, and he's our oldest. He's living in Chicago now. He has got him a good job because of God.
Amen.
And the patience in that, but he graduated from Hampton University during the pandemic, came home, and now he's off living his own, becoming a grown-up adult.
Wow.
And we're very, very proud of him. And our daughter, who's our younger child, she is a teacher. She teaches with Detroit Public Schools and very creative, and a mother. So I'm a grandmother.
Goodness. Oh my goodness. That is so awesome.
I'm a grandmother. I have a 4-year-old, Kylie.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, hello, Kylie.
Hey, Kylie. That's my baby. It's so sweet.
I'm sure. Grandmama's baby.
Yes,
Sure.
absolutely.
You
So,
have a beautiful family.
You too.
Talk to me about your parents and really where you grew up. We just spoke a little earlier off camera about your home church. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I grew up, so my family, we grew up on the east side of Detroit, lower east side of Detroit, south of Jefferson, east side, and literally grew up early where my great-grandparents had the home that everyone either visited or lived at. The extended family. Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, my great grandmother Nana and my great grandfather Papa grew up in Black Bottom, and they bought a big home on the east side of Detroit, and all the family and extended family bought homes in that same area. So my home with my mother and my father was same street, and my grandmother and grandfather lived across the street. My aunt and uncle lived 2 doors down.
That's the village. Right?
Yes.
That's the village for sure.
Cousins were around the corner, and we grew up in a very, very close-knit family. And the church we all attended was Israel Missionary Baptist Church on Forest. Yes, yes, it is, under late Pastor Jenkins. And my grandmother was an organist.
Oh, wow.
And a singer and director, choir director, and she would get on that organ and she would beat them keys, and it would be beautiful. And so I sat there and I learned so much about church, and was brought up really in the church, and my family was there. My mother was very, very involved, as she still is today, in the community. So in church, that's where I learned about God, attended Sunday schools and Bible studies and all those things that are a strong foundation for me. But in addition to that, I also learned that that's where you also should be serving people. My mother did that tremendously in developing youth programs and Girl Scouts and all the Boy Scouts and all of the things, and feeding the community. So I grew up in that in church. Very good upbringing. And so my parents were married, and then they later divorced. Close relationship with both of my parents, my mother and my father, and what I'm so thankful for is that they know the Lord themselves, and gave me the opportunity to know the Lord for myself as well. And that's what I always want to pour into my children: develop your own relationship with Christ. You know, so yeah, great upbringing. Have wonderful family here and extended beyond Detroit.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah,
That's really awesome. I don't want to get out of the line of my questions, but you brought up something, your upbringing. Bishop Vine was our Women's Day speaker on Sunday, and one of the sermon that she preached was talking about, and I can't remember the subject matter, but I did pay attention. Bishop Vine is a beautiful message about our upbringing and how our friends and family were at church. We were going to church. Church was our life. Our family and friends were at church.
Absolutely.
We didn't know anyone who was not at church. So waking up and going to Sunday school and having Sunday clothes. She preached about all of that.
Yeah.
Where did that get lost? Where is that getting lost? She said it was the baby boomer generation who we dropped the ball. Because if you're brought up that way, and I know your son and daughter are older, but you can only instill in them these foundational things. But what's happening? What is happening?
Yeah, if only I had the answer to it all. But I see a lot of people who feel like and think that church isn't relevant. And I've said it just recently that church is still relevant. And it's not just about the building itself, it's about the relationship that you develop with Christ through the fellowship, even in church, where people can pour into you. I can think of some of my most challenging times in life that I faced. By being in church, I was poured into. You know, I had people who were giving me the word of God, and that stuck with me, so that as I faced challenges, I always had that to draw back on. People who were giving me, a welcoming smile, a warm hug, or you doing good, and that encouraging word. And so I think sometimes people are just missing out. They don't know. They just don't know what they missing out on. because I don't know where I would be without them, you know.
I hear you.
So I don't know how people honestly are making it without. During the pandemic, I think about how we couldn't wait to get back in church. We were only out for a little while, and as soon as they said we could come right back in, we were in there. I couldn't do without it. I was longing for being in the church house, being able to know that I was here in a place of worship. So I could get filled to be able to make it another day, another moment, another second.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So I don't, and I sometimes feel so sad for the lost who don't have that relationship, and don't feel that it's important to have that relationship. And that's my prayer, is that everyone who doesn't recognize it and have the ability to build a relationship, come into the church, get poured into, they actually would do it. It won't hurt you. That's what my husband say all the time. Try God. I'm sure it's going to turn out for your best.
Oh, yeah.
And now if you don't like it, you can leave.
Yeah, right. That's true. But at least try it.
At least try it. Because he can't hurt you. He can only help you.
Can only help
Yeah.
you. That is true. And I have to just say, when I think of my childhood, I don't know anyone even from that child who's not in church. So sometimes when people say, oh, you've been there and done that, or these kids are coming here, I said, no, I can't relate, because church was my life. It really was my life. We, you know, there was 13 of us. So my mom, you know, we had a Saturday night routine. You don't wash clothes. You don't do this. You ain't doing nothing on Sundays. You know, get your church clothes ready. Get your hair done. It was a routine. And I have to be honest, I don't have that with my daughter. I don't have that with my daughter. Why? Because there are too many other distractions.
Yeah.
Too many other distractions.
People get choices now. It's so.
But she's 13. So it should be a choice. It shouldn't be do this. But what has to happen is that mom and dad have to be on the same page.
They do. Parents have to set the foundation on what's important. Pastor will say to us on a Sunday, just like we tell children, we don't care if you're sick, we don't care if your stomach hurt or what's going on. You get dressed and you go into school.
Yeah.
And that's how it was for us. Like, you getting yourself together and you're going to church, you know? And so I think that we've gotten away from that. The importance of it, that foundation. I had a lady tell me, I remember a little old lady told me many years ago, we were talking about Sunday school, and she said, listen, I need you to go to Sunday school, because I wasn't going all the time. And she said, I don't want you to go for you. I need you to go for your children. How about that?
Yeah.
And when she said that, I recognized, because the children were the most important thing to me.
True.
And if you're telling me the benefit of going is going to help my children in the long, I'm going to do it, right? Yeah. And so I set myself aside, and I really committed myself to being in Sunday school, which in the long run helped me.
Of course.
As well as them, so that I could learn, I can grow, and build a stronger relationship with Christ. So I'm so thankful for that advice.
Yes,
very clear.
Very clear. So are you in Sunday school, Bible class, choir rehearsal? Are you, because and I don't want to get into a whole nother subject matter, because sometimes people spend a lot of time churching.
True.
You know, and you're not even in it.
Absolutely.
So when I say all of that, you know, and I don't want you to see, or pastor to see me, I'm hither, thither, and yon, but I'm nowhere. And I don't want to ever feel that way.
Right, right. No, absolutely. So no. One, I'm not in choir. They won't let me sing.
So no, she won't be singing at the end.
I will not be singing at the end. Not at all. They tell me stay away from the microphone. People have a lane, and I let them do their thing. So no, but I can sing out of cue in the background behind somebody all day long.
That's fun.
But no, I mean, I think it's not about the busy work of being present. It's about the work of being there and really being fed what you're being taught, and walking away with it, and then living it, you know, not just doing it to check it off your list that you did it, but be there with an intentional purpose to be poured into and worship Christ.
Yes. And I think something else that Bishop Vaughn said, and you just confirmed it, go for your children and your children's children. She said they'll benefit down the road. I just always, you know, find it very curious that it ends somewhere. It ends here. But I can see that happening. How old is your daughter? How old is
She's
your-
25.
Okay, so see, they've skipped that little generation where you're on the phone all the time. I think more than anything, that's what's distracting, and I think parents have allowed that to babysit the kids. So oftentimes,
That's
maybe I'm
true.
gonna go to church and I'm gonna leave you here because now you too much trouble, or
Oh.
I don't. I'm just saying because I don't understand that, because, like I said, somebody told me, she said, you need to let the nostalgia of your church and how you guys did it go. And I can't let that go, because I aspire to have that still with my kids.
Okay,
And
yeah.
Vacation Bible School was 2
Right.
months.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
it was.
It wasn't a week, and it
Right.
wasn't in the evening.
Right,
And I know
right.
we have to meet people where they
They
are
are.
because they're busy. I do understand
Yeah.
that. I do understand that. But I remember the childhood that you had, and that's what keeps you grounded. So
Yeah.
where in that does pastor come from? How did he become pastor? Because he was pastor and you guys got married.
No, we were
already
married
together?
first. Yes.
No.
So he's been a pastor now for 6 years.
Okay.
In October. So we've been married, like I said, since 1997, and he was ordained under his father, who is the late great Reverend Robert Robinson Sr.
Wow.
from Greater Missionary Baptist Church. Some people call him Calvary, because he is known for that. He will sing a song and walk a pew.
Oh, wow.
But he passed some years ago. My husband was ordained as a minister, and then he was elected as pastor of the church now, like I said, 6 years ago. So
You're new in this.
yes,
Very
absolutely.
new. Very new.
Absolutely.
But
So
it sounds like your church upbringing and your family, you was ready for it. Because a lot of times people, great segue to my next question, were you ready for it? First ladyship.
I didn't know I was gonna be a first lady. Now that is nothing that we talked about. I was sitting in aspiring to be. It was not on the list. Okay, that was something God decided. It's all His doing. So no, it was new. We're new to it. I'm not new to church.
Right.
You know, I'm not new to Christ. Christ has known me forever, right? All my life.
Your life.
So no, not new to that at all. And then, you know, growing up in the church, and I became a member of Greater Missionary Baptist Church when me and my husband were still dating before we got married. So I've been at the church for many years. So yeah, we've been just growing and developing together along the way, and learning and following the direction of Christ the entire time.
And 30 years is a long time. That's someone's lifetime.
It is.
30
It's cool.
years.
I want to say 50 years, but we at 30, so I'm thankful for that too.
You know
I
what?
know.
You're inspired.
I'm aspiring for
Yeah.
50.
And I always ask couples when I do meet them and they've been married for 50, to me is a magic number. You know, what is the secret?
Yeah.
You've been married 30 years, and not just because he's a pastor, but tell me, what is the secret to a happy marriage?
I think it's so funny you asked me this. My nail tech, little Asian lady, just told me the other day she's been married for 30, and she said that the key for her is compromise. And I said, that's a good one, because you do have to make some compromises along the way. And I think, honestly, the secret, which is no secret, is really love. Honestly, loving each other and having genuine concern for the other person. As long as he has a high concern for me, I have a high concern for him, we're going to take care of each other. And I think that's really not the secret, but it is. But I really, honestly, it's God.
Yeah.
You have to have God in the middle of your relationship first. You know, you have to have God in it. And I believe for us, because we are in church and we have a strong relationship with Christ, we take our issues to Him and have Him help us work through it and help us have patience and being able to compromise and help us learn how to communicate even more effectively with each other, because you grow and evolve, you know. So I don't know if it's one secret outside of, which is not a secret, having Christ in the middle of your relationship is key.
It's key. It is. It is definitely that. I think that's foundation of a good relationship. But I also think, because I've heard this word many times before, the compromise. The compromise. The compromise. I'm going to have to think more on the compromise. The compromise. Because God is already in it. I believe that. Yeah, 30 years, it definitely takes a
giving a take and bending a little, and we have always said we're both a little stubborn, and we've had to stop and say, how does the other person feel, consider the other person's feelings. So it is some compromise, right? Yeah, but it's the love. You love them so much that you're gonna have that
to do this. Yeah, work it out.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Jason?
I love it.
Now say the same. Say, did you hear that, Lakeitha? I heard it, Jason. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try to work my phone out so that I can find out who's online. But I am having such a wonderful time with First Lady Jennella Robinson, even though she said she was nervous and blah, 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 the stuff that we hear all the time from our First Ladies. But ladies and gentlemen, we will be back with our second half of the show. So until then, give me just a second. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone, First Lady Lakeitha London here, host of First and Foremost. You know the show that's all about your First Lady. Well, guess what? We are in season 4 and I cannot believe it. God has been so good. We have had a litany of First Ladies in our first year, and season 4 promises to have a whole lot more. I'm working on a new set right now. Guess what? Great conversations still to be had, great prizes to be won, and this season promises to be one of the best seasons yet. Tune in this Tuesday, August the 4th, for our grand opening show. Looking forward to seeing you guys. So until then, take care and God bless. And guess what we're doing? Celebrations and come on! See you next Tuesday!
Hello, good evening, and welcome everyone, and welcome to another episode of First and Foremost. I'm your host, First Lady Lakeitha London, and in the first chair on tonight is no one, because you have yet to call me First Lady. First and Foremost is a platform that's created just for you. It's giving us an opportunity to be seen and to be heard. Come and share your story in the first chair on First and Foremost. It is indeed waiting for you.
I was in a conversation with someone the other day, and the conversation got a little heated because it was certainly something that I was passionate about. And during the conversation, the young woman said, "Oh, First Lady, I never thought of it that way." I apologize. You certainly do bring a different perspective. And you know what I said to that? Here's the First and Foremost, the show about the First Lady's perspective. Thank you for tuning in. Her perspective is unique because she sees both the public platform and the private process. She witnesses the tears behind the sermons, the warfare behind the worship, and the cost behind the calling.
And I want to thank Lady Birdie Hurst and George Casey and Latoya Johnson, First Lady Latoya Johnson. Thank you guys always for listening in. And guess what? This lady is so dynamic and so awesome and so well spoken. I wish Pastor was really here in the audience. Sometimes I don't want pastors to be in the audience, but you giving him so much love. I want to know what he's feeling about all of this. So I thank you so very much for all of those beautiful comments for Pastor. And we did get a couple of phone questions. So before I get back into what we were talking about, I want to ask you a question about this. Dating. Is dating then the same as it is now?
For me and him,
No, the idea of dating. Because when you guys dated, because you said you dated, that consists of going to dinner.
oh yeah, we went to dinner, went to the movies. We still do those things. So it's the same, but it's funny. We just had a conversation with some friends about intentionally dating. So he'll say, "Well, we went to dinner. That's a date." And I'm like, "No, that's not a date.
It's not a date.
I want you to say, I want to take you out. You get dressed up, and we go out to eat." However, we spend a lot of time together. We go to the movies. We go to dinner. We'll just drive around. we do activities. We like to enjoy being with each other outside of the house and not just in church.
And
So
not just in church, which is good. And I know husband came down to our Boots on the Ground event. I almost thought he was going to be dancing. Now that
No.
would have been a shame. He's not a dancer.
Not at all.
Okay, but he vibes with you, and I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess again that is the compromise. Even though I don't enjoy this, I'm still going to come to support my sweetheart.
Right.
I love
Yes,
that.
sir.
I absolutely love that. So I'm going to ask her, First Lady Jennella Robinson, a couple of our phone-in questions, and it says, First Lady Robinson, as a First Lady, are you dictating fashion trends at the church because you love to dress up?
no.
Speaking to the camera, she said no.
No,
And why
I
do
am
you
not.
think- Why do you think that is?
I work a professional career, my career, so I dress professionally at work. And then at church, I try to dress the same. Similarly, I'm not a first lady who wears the hats and, all of the, long, fancy dresses and things like that. As my daughter says, I have 2 outfits, work and church. So
I don't think anything is wrong with that.
So
yeah.
generally, I could probably wear either one to either place.
Because you're
so,
trend setting, as a young first lady, and maybe you're not that young, but you're looking young.
Okay. Yeah, not
So,
that young.
with your hairstyle and things of that nature, do you think that people in the young people in the audience are saying, what First Lady is wearing that or doing that, I can do that? I mean, do you see that anyway in anything that you wear?
I don't know that they do. Their style, I think younger people's style is a little bit different than mine.
But when I'm talking about church clothes, I'm talking about the church style. Because of course we know that they're gonna dress how they want to.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'll say this for myself. I was always brought up that you carry yourself in a certain way. And you dress appropriately in those arenas. In my job, I'm always an advocate of professional attire. And in church, I think it's okay to dress down. I do, in a respectful manner. But I do think it's okay to dress down. I don't think you have to, put on a whole show. I want people to be able to know who I am on the inside and not just be focused on the attire on the outside as if, everything is so perfect and so put together. I like to look nice and, try to take care of myself. But I think, we have conversations with the youth at church sometimes about attire if it goes a little too far. Same with our own households.
Okay.
But I think that, you can wear dressed down clothes as long as you're focusing on what you're there for and it's not, inappropriate attire. So,
But
yeah.
who's saying if it's inappropriate or not? Because I'm
Right.
and I don't want to bring that up, but the
Yeah.
First Lady who had the dress on, who says that it's inappropriate?
Yeah.
I think in the back of our minds, we really already know, I'm feeling uncomfortable with this.
I think people generally have an idea and know. I really think that dressing down, and I'll keep more at that, dressing down is okay. Like some people won't ever wear, pants to church.
Right.
We can wear pants to church. There's nothing that keeps you from God. Nothing keeps you from salvation because you have on a pair of pants, right? Now, it's the behavior that's associated with it. Now, if you're behaving in a different way, then hey. But
the behavior associated with the clothes,
that's
the attire.
That's it. So if you're still appropriate in your behavior, your actions, I don't see a whole lot wrong, especially with dressing down. Sometimes, and I tell my job, sometimes blue jeans become a gateway and people want to put on, a bonnet and come to work, and that's not appropriate, or house shoes. And it's like, no, we need to set an appearance of professionalism so people know what we're there for. But I think casual attire is appropriate. Like I said, I'm not wearing a full, gamut of hats and full suits and things like that every Sunday. Because I'm really there just to praise God. So that's what I'm really focused on.
And that is an important thing. But I think as we have younger and younger first ladies on the show, and if you had, and I guess it depends on the demographics of your church.
Yeah.
How you as first ladies, and I'm first ladies, give me some feedback if you think how you're dressing at church is having any kind of trend-setting fashion effect on some of the young people. And I don't expect somebody 16 years old coming in, here, like that. But sometimes, as I spoke with Jennella earlier, First Lady, if First Lady can wear that, then it's okay for me to wear it.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that everything doesn't look like everything on everybody or the same. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
We know
Mm-hmm.
that. Now, I apologize. We start going on to something else. And the second question was, how are personal boundaries set between pastor, people, and family?
Personal boundaries set between pastor, people, and family. How he sets boundaries?
How you set boundaries, or how our boundaries set, or are they? Which is a good question. Are they?
I think for us though, we are people who try to be accessible. At least for myself, I haven't had situations where I felt like people have went too far.
Okay, good.
I haven't had that. I think I'm a type of person who can have a conversation with a person in a way that's not demeaning if there was something that did come up and occur. But I think for us, we tend to always try to make sure we're accessible to people and I don't find people really crossing lines, if I'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, I think for me, that's what, and again, it's 6 years in, right?
Yeah.
So we haven't experienced all that we're gonna experience in this journey, but for us, it's been fine. I haven't had the situations of people pulling on my husband beyond, what's appropriate for us as a couple. I haven't had that, and I respect his role as a pastor. He has and should be available to the people, and he should be able to have conversations that don't involve me.
Absolutely.
And I'm fine with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely. That's one thing I give him, his privacy, because he's the pastor now. Lady Jennella, you have been granted one do-over.
okay.
What would you do over?
Do over. Well, let's see. I don't really live with regrets because I recognize that in our journey, honestly, of life, whatever we've experienced, it's been for a purpose. And I think that the whole purpose of even the challenges is to learn and grow through them. So honestly, I don't know that I have a regret. Maybe a redo.
Yeah.
A redo.
Do-over.
I don't know. A do-over. I don't know. Let me see. I wouldn't do over my college. I'm fine with the experiences and people I've encountered and the things and lessons that I've learned. I wouldn't redo or do over my relationship. As I said, I think that you have to learn through all of it, right? And doing it over, I'm fine. I'm looking forward to the what's next to come, and the blessings that God has for me, my family, my husband, my church. That's what I'm looking forward to. So I don't really have a do-over.
Okay, well, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. You just said something that I wanted to talk about. Have you ever had a random conversation in a store, at the gas station, at the nail salon with a stranger about God or about their lives, or just something that you saw? Have you ever done that before?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've definitely had conversations. It's interesting because in the work that I do, I encounter a lot of people who are looking to reset, do over, who are looking for second chances and opportunities. And so, yes, I've had conversations many a times with different individuals throughout life about just really what God could do for them in the moving forward, right? And taking the time to get to know him not from what just your grandmother told you or just what your mother told you, but get to know him yourself, right? And really committing and taking your time to do that. Because it for me, it makes a difference. It made a difference, you know, it honestly did. And I think whenever we have that opportunity to have those conversations, it's important to do it, but being mindful of, you know, who you're having a conversation with, where they are in their life, and being realistic with them on where their needs are, right? So yeah, I've had those conversations.
And I think as Christians, that's part of our task that we should do. But I was speaking with the lady earlier today, and it's just always interesting to me because I'm going to say something. You know, sometimes I just have random questions for people.
Okay.
I'm just that type of person. But she shared a lot of stuff with me, and she said she's just newly into Christ. And she said, honey, I got a relationship. That's my man. That's my boyfriend now. She said, I don't talk about it. She said, I used to, one thing she said she used to hear her mom say this all the time about I wouldn't trade nothing for my journey now. And we in the store, and I'm about to just pass out here crying and everything because sometimes when you approach people, they encourage you.
Oh, yeah.
They encourage you.
Absolutely.
I told her, she's an older woman, and she said, yeah, and I'm trying to, and it bothered me because she had to be 60 something years old, and you're just new in Christ. And it doesn't matter to me, you found him. And she said she's happier than she.
Oh yeah, yeah, because it can happen. You can have one relationship with Christ as a young person, and then you get those life experiences, and then that relationship gets moves to another level, right? So yeah, and so I can see that, right? We always hope that every, you know, Sunday after Sunday, that as lessons are being poured into you, it's going into your heart. And because we know what's inside of your heart will come out. So we're hoping and praying. The prayer is that you're receiving it and then you move in that direction. You know, not just head knowledge, but having it actually in your heart and you taking the steps. And that's not always easy, right? Because you get faced with challenges and you're like, okay, what do I do now? Well, you have to rely back on what God has put in you to be able to continue moving forward, you know, or move in the way that he's calling you, and not just yourself, not just your flesh, how God is calling you to respond, which might be totally different than what you would normally do, right? So having those conversations, people, and helping them understand it's not going to be easy, right? But it'll be for your good.
You're never too old.
No.
That really, I think that hit me more because she was an older woman full of ailments, and she went down the list of the ailments. She said, but I wouldn't give nothing for my journey now. So I thought that was powerful.
Yeah, that is.
And you said something earlier, and it says, I'm going to read this to you, and you tell me what you feel about it. It says, if they say that you never get a second chance to make a first impression, what are your thoughts about that?
I think that first impression it speaks volumes, right? It does. But I think depending upon who the person is, if they're receptive to allowing, and recognizing that people are not perfect and people are people and always growing and evolving, you give them that opportunity for a second chance. I do. I give people that second chance. I want that second chance. I want God to give me that second chance. I don't get it right the first time, the second, the third. So I want him to give me that. So I need to grant that same grace to other people.
I absolutely love that. What does come as you are mean to you? We spoke a little bit about that, and we talked about the clothes, but what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you so that you can relate that to somebody else who's out there listening? Yeah,
it's come in whatever state you are in your mind, in what's happening with you. People will say they can't come to church until they get themselves together, right? Yeah. So to me, that's the come as you are is counter to that. Come as you are right now, because Christ will accept you right now as you are. That's come as you are. Christ accepts you right now as you are. And he can help change you. He can help move you forward. He can help progress you and clean you up. Just come as you are right now. Because if you're perfect, you don't need him, right?
Amen.
So come as you are and let him mold you. Let him grow in you. Let him develop you. And if you do that, you'll see a change in your life and in you that you would never even imagine will happen. Because what do we say? Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. God can do the most amazing things. I've seen it for myself.
Amen.
I've seen it for myself.
Yeah.
And so I just tell people, give them a chance and give them a try and take the time. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be easy. But if you turn around and put your focus back on Him, it'll be worth it.
It'll be worth it.
It'll be
And
worth
I think
it.
everybody who's sat in this first chair continues to talk about the personal relationship that you have to have with
You
God.
have to.
You know, I know that I'm still living on Mama's prayers, but I'm in church. I've been able to continue that.
Yeah.
And now it kind of just made me understand what Bishop Vine was talking about. I hope to do this for my daughter, and so on and so on. It just bothers me that somewhere we've lost our young people. And I said this, and maybe even in your work you can explain this to me. We are not practicing any of those COVID protocols, you know, the 6 feet away
Yeah.
and this and that. The only one we're still doing is to stay at home. And that's for church. And that's for church.
This is
We
true.
still using that excuse for church.
That's true.
Why is that? Why is let that go? Why
Yeah.
don't we let that go?
We can let that one go.
Come to church.
Yeah.
You have to
Come to
church.
church.
Come to church.
Yeah.
Come to church.
Yeah.
Come to church.
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's that bedside Baptist people enjoying.
And I know Bishop Vine said on Sunday that that Sunday morning sleep between 6 and 8 is the best. And that's why people don't get up on Sundays, you know, and then you thinking about the game and the cars and watching the grass and all that kind of stuff. But
That's
we
true.
do have to, we got to return back to our first love. We got to get it right.
Yeah.
Now more than ever. Now
Yeah.
more than ever. I want to ask you one more question before we get ready to wrap up. Okay, Jason, I know we've been on a while. First Lady, you said that you were super nervous. Please tell me your experience in the first chair right now.
It's been good. I enjoy having a conversation with you. It's been good. My hands are sweaty. You know, so I'll be honest. But it's good. I'm battling, trying to come over a cold, a bug, an allergy. I don't know what, but it's been good. I've enjoyed it. I appreciate the conversation and being able to hear from me. I said to myself earlier today, reminding myself that if it's not about Christ, why are you doing it?
Amen.
Right? So for me, sitting here in this chair is just to remind others that we have to focus on Christ.
Amen.
If we do that, regardless of the challenges we face, the things that we're seeing that's going on, chaotic out here in the world, God has it.
Yes, He does.
He still has it. None of this is new to Him. He's not surprised that people was going to sit at home and just watch church on Facebook. He's not shocked. Right. He's not amazed by it all.
Right.
But He has a job for us to do. I had a minister say, stay on our assignment. So regardless of what everybody else is doing, we stay on our assignment. And if we do that, we may be able to touch a soul to say, they still moving forward in spite of the things they dealing with. They still going to church. They still praising God. They still giving and serving, regardless of the things there. And maybe that'll inspire somebody else.
Well, you heard it here. Again, I didn't say that. Jason didn't say it. First Lady said that. And I'm so glad that you did. One of the things I love about this show, I believe Christ is all in it because, again, someone may relate very much to what First Lady is going through and maybe want to come to her church. And I'm sure you guys are always doing great community events.
We are.
The petting farm and zoo and all of this kind of stuff. I know it didn't happen this year, but you guys are always involved in the community. So if you want more information about First Lady's church and some information, I can definitely make sure we get that on our story. So guys, again, without you, this show would be nothing. So I thank you for listening in. Thank you for your patience and your understanding through everything. And First Lady Jennella, is there anyone you want to say goodbye to, and any farewell words, any lasting words to our First Ladies? And
Sure.
leaders?
I just want to tell everyone that Greater Missionary Baptist Church, it exists. And it's open. And it's looking for you. If you want a place where you feel at home, that's where you can come. We do a lot for the community because God has called us to do it. We just had a huge back to school event. And God, because of God's grace, we are still serving His people. And please be a part of it. We would love to see you, and He would love to see you even more. in this place, worshiping and fellowship. And thank you all so much, whoever tuned in. I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to little old me, because I did not need to be here talking. So thank y'all so much. Thank you, First Lady.
It's been my pleasure. And I guess with that, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it straight from First Lady. And I hope that you know that the hat is still available, so please give us a call. If there's any information you want to make sure that I forward from First Lady to put on my story, so that you guys can make sure that you attend one of her events coming up or attend the church. There's plenty of room, as she said. So again, just guys, thank you all so much. So I look forward to seeing you on next Tuesday. So until then, take care. God bless.